Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 18 of my 1.5 versus 6 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against a team of 6 Emperor AI, although I did begin the game with an AI teammate set to Lord difficulty. In this series, I'm playing as the Goblin Rogue, Gnulsa Nightstar. In our last episode, we actually found the throne city of one of our opponents. You can actually see it right here on the map. So it's the city of Rabia Est. And this is the throne city of our Nomad Warlord opponent, Reynald Quazarin. And so what we're going to do this episode, hopefully, is start moving our forces in towards the throne city of Reynald and see if perhaps we can, start working on maybe eliminating him from the game. Although, again, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I definitely need to start whittling down my opponents, as currently I've got 6 potentially very, very powerful opponents kind of staring me in the face. So we need to start working on that and trimming that down. Now, before I dive into this episode, though, I would like to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some fantastic comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments comes from Civ5 Addict. Civ5 Addict pointed out that I should probably consider using Charm in addition to Control Undead, and that's in reference to Gnulsa. So importantly here, Gnulsa has both Control Undead from the Ashes of the Reaper item that she has, and then she also has, as we'll see here, where is it? Did I miss it? I might have missed it. Oh, there it is. She has Charm as well, as she is a rogue. And I've kind of been focusing on grabbing units that can heal undead, but what Civ5 Addict is pointing out is that I should also try and get some apprentice units, and this is because I have Shadow Stalkers and I now have access to Earth Elementals, both of which are units of magical origin which could be healed by apprentice units. So it would be really beneficial for me to actually have some to maintain my stacks of Shadow Stalkers and Earth Elementals. So really good point there from Civ5 Addict. Civ5 Addict also just had kind of a general point, which is make sure that I don't kind of overcommit to production of my navy. So obviously galleons have been extremely useful for me, and I'm actually in the process of setting up another city to produce them. You can see right here in the city, human town of Kenton, I'm actually working on a harbor, and that's going to allow me to produce some really powerful galleons, of course. And I'm also going to get an economic boost from this thanks to the human racial governance upgrade that I got. But Civ5 is just pointing out that I should make sure I don't overcommit to the navy production, and that's obviously because I need my ground forces and my non-navy units to actually do the heavy lifting when it comes to like sieging throne cities and things like that. And I think that's a great point. The next set of comments here is from Ahmed Sultan. Ahmed pointed out kind of the same thing that Civ5 Addict did, which is that I should probably focus on charming additional apprentices in order to provide support units that can heal my Shadow Stalkers and my Earth Elementals. And again, I think that's a great point. Ahmed actually mentioned that High Elf Bards get longbows, and this is something that I probably should have realized, but I didn't even think of. So if we jump over to Beltheme here, you can see that we now have the ability to produce our High Elf Bard, and as you can see, they have shoot longbow as an ability, and of course that's fantastic because longbows are very, very powerful and they don't suffer from a range penalty. So very, very good observation there from Ahmed, and that would actually save me the trouble. I could produce a fairly powerful unit here that has obviously longbow and charm, and that would stop me from having to focus a ton of resources on, getting the planar gate just to then take a ton of turns to make Shadow Stalkers and Succubi. Instead, I could actually just take 2 turns of pop here and start producing High Elf Bards, which isn't such a bad idea. So thank you to Ahmed for that one. That's a great point. Ahmed also mentioned that producing some additional galleons would be very good for me, and I agree with Ahmed on that. And I think it's nice because, Ahmed is suggesting that additional galleons would help me out in terms of like hunting down any units that are in the water. Like I had a situation here where I actually saw Reynald himself, the leader, and he was down, or that opposing leader, he was down here in the water and I couldn't really do anything about it. So I agree with Ahmed that having some additional aquatic units would be really beneficial for me, but I also agree with Civ 5 that I don't want to overcommit to Navy production. So I think having just kind of one more additional city. So my Navy cities are really going to be my human city here of Kenton, and then my Goblin city down here of Ding. And that's because, of course, in Ding we have the Flow Rock Quarry. So we're going to get the units that have extra health, the machine units with extra health. So those two cities are going to do Navy production, and then the rest I'm going to focus on Shadow Stalkers and everything else. So I think that'll probably provide a good balance. So thank you for the excellent suggestions there. The next set of comments here is from Albtrom. Albtrom pointed out that something I could consider doing, because I often don't have the scouts available to kind of pave the way for some of my armies. Like, for example, with Gnulsa down here. I mean, I suppose I could summon a scout, and that probably would have been a good idea if I'm going to be paving into the unknown here. But something that I could do is actually take one of my units that has the most movement capability and actually use that unit to kind of scout ahead, and then have the rest of my units sort of catch up and join up with the unit. And I think that's a great idea. Scouting is definitely something that I would say is probably one of my weaknesses, and I don't tend to do the best job of. I think this has actually been pointed out. I remember a previous comment a few episodes back from Lance Fair, and I apologize, Lance, if I'm mischaracterizing what you had said, but I remember that you had suggested that, or pointed out, I should say, not suggested, pointed out that, I need to get better at scouting, and I think that's a really, really good point about kind of my play style and just a weakness of mine. So I like that Albtrom is suggesting that I could, in the interim, sort of use a single unit to at least give me an idea of what I'm getting into before I commit the stack kind of fully to the movement. So I just have to be careful that I don't leave a unit stranded by itself and then it gets picked off. So really good point there from Albtrom. Albtrom also suggested here that I probably should have killed those roaming units underground, and I actually agree. We had a situation here where there were some roaming units that kind of were, I think they were right in this kind of area where I'm moving the cursor. And I had this stack that was, I had used Control Undead to grab a couple of Reanimators, and then I got this Nightshade Fairy as a reward from a structure. And I was going to have that stack move along with Gnulsa, but unfortunately these units kind of cut this unit off, and obviously they're not powerful enough to do a ton of fighting just yet. So I had to kind of retreat them down this way, although I got lucky and found an extra vassal. So I agree with Albtrom, though. That was probably not the best choice. I think I should have killed the roamers while I had the chance. Albtrom also kind of gave a shout-out to the Age of Wonders 3 wiki, which is a great resource for anybody who wants to learn more about the game. Maybe you want to look up a particular unit or a leader class or a race or something. It's a really, really good resource. But when Albtrom tried to actually link to the wiki, and again, if you want to find the wiki, just do a quick search for it, and it should be one of the top results. Just Age of Wonders 3 wiki should bring it up. When Albtrom tried to put a link, unfortunately his comment wasn't showing up, and so Albtrom did a bit of digging to try to get to the bottom of that. So thank you, Albtrom, for at least trying to kind of figure out, a bit more of the issues we've been having with comments. Unfortunately, it looks like they sometimes get held up for review, but when I checked my held for review list under my channel controls, I wasn't able to actually find any comments. So again, I'm going to periodically check that as much as I can to make sure that if anybody's comments get hung up there, I can approve them and then they end up going through. But just a quirk of YouTube, I guess. We'll work around it, though. And again, big thank you to everybody for the excellent comments and suggestions. You guys are an absolute goldmine of advice and knowledge. So again, really do appreciate it. Let's dive into the episode, though, as we've got, again, a lot of things to do, and I would really like to get into the fight with Reynald. I'm kind of excited to do that. So this is another thing that Albtrom had suggested, is that when you move units through the subterranean walls here, it's probably better to actually use the unit that has tunneling first, especially if it has more movement, like the Big Beetle here. So I'm actually going to do this. Well, I can. There we go, and then I'll move back. So now, next turn, we'll be able to just go right through, and it'll only be 4 movement instead of 6. So that's kind of a nice little pro tip there. So even when I'm moving these units through the area, I always want to make sure that I use the digging unit kind of ahead of the way, especially if they have more movement. So let's jump back to the surface here. I think we still had a few things left to kind of sort out. I'm just going to double check. Yeah. Oh, I guess one other thing I should mention that Albtrom had suggested. Well, I'm kind of just thinking about it. I jumped over here. I have kind of a bad habit of missing these roaming units. Sometimes I just don't see them. And I think it might be that this little icon for them, you know, if it was solid red, I'd probably see it more easily because, of course, you know, the eye is drawn to red. But for whatever reason, I seem to have a bad habit of missing them. And in the last episode, I kind of missed this unit and ended up having to kind of reallocate some troops to this stack, which I didn't really want to do. So, again, I appreciate Albtron pointing out that I seem to have a bad habit of missing these units. So, something to work on moving forward. I got to try to keep my eyes peeled for them. Anyway, okay, let's get back to it. So, we had lots of joint offers. Nothing really crazy there. Yeah, we were kind of at the end of our turn. So, let's maybe think about our production. I think I'm going to take Ahmed Sultan's advice here and actually, or not advice, but based on his suggestion, I think I'm actually going to start producing some high elf bards. And that's going to be nice to have, just kind of the versatility of those units there. They're also cheaper to produce, which is really nice. Now, as for this stack, I sent this stack up to kind of clear out this little island. And maybe I'm going to, you know, eventually try and get a city set up on there. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of head up this way. And of course, I could move this stack a lot further if I didn't have these two units here. But I like having the priest for the healing. And the half-breed, I might as well send along for the ride. I mean, why not? If I'm going to have the priest, I might as well have the half-breed too. Their movement is the same. So, yeah, we're going to just try and clear out some structures there. Oh, we still have our galleons to move. That's right. Now, speaking of roaming units, you can see here that unfortunately this stack has moved over and is now threatening Pamphlet. Now, I have one option here. I could send my galleons over to try to kind of halt their advance. Like, maybe they'd attack my galleons instead of the city. But I have no guarantee of that. So, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm kind of torn on this one. But I think I'm going to grab this Shrine of the Fickle Mermaid to at least restore our movement here. And get a little bit more experience while we're at it. And then after that, I'm going to have to decide, do I want to send these units back over near the city to try to entice that roaming unit to avoid my city and to attack instead my galleons, which would obviously make short work of them. Very nice critical there on the cannon shot. Oh, you know what? Let's just hang on. Before we end the battle, let's see. Does anyone need a heal? Yes, they do. Okay, we can repair. There we go. And then blast right here. Excellent. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do, my original plan with this stack was to head over here and try and get rid of this pirate's nest and kind of, you know, again, kill it at the source rather than having to deal with these pesky units. One thing that might save me, these units that roam around tend to have a radius where they won't go any further away from their point of origin, you know, beyond a certain amount. So I don't actually offhand remember what it is. For some reason in my head, I have 16 tiles or 16 hexes, but I can't remember if that's what it is. If anybody remembers in the comments, please leave it in the comments for this episode, and then we can have a discussion about that. It'll be a good learning opportunity. But again, I seem to recall that there's kind of a limit that these units will roam away from their initial point of spawning. And I'm assuming that this group spawned right here because they are the kind of pirate units. So if it is 16, we might be okay, where they might not quite be able to make it to the city. But I'm just going to have to kind of roll the dice, I think. And you know what? If it ends up getting taken over by these units, I think I'm working on a Shadow Stalker up here. You know what? I can send a Shadow Stalker down, and I might be able to get it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over this way. You know what? On our way over, we might as well clear this out. Oh, okay. We'll let them run. There's a little bit more gold for us. And then next turn, we should be able to head down, and yeah, we can clear out these pesky pirates. That'll be good for us. All right, and we have, I almost forgot about this, we have our Wraith King here who's been produced at Encina Res, and I was going to build up a little stack and maybe have them kind of go up and start clearing out structures around one of our vassals here so that maybe we could actually bring this vassal into the fold and absorb it. But I think in the meantime, because I'm still waiting if I remember right, yeah, I want to make a caster and probably at least one other unit, maybe another Wraith King. I think for now I'm actually going to send this unit down this way to join in with Zhang, at least for now. And meanwhile, Zhang, we're going to try out the Sphinx Temple here. That's going to be fun. We might even be able to get the... Oh, yeah, we can actually get the Wraith King down there to join in, which might be better than bringing in, like, the Cadaver or even the Cavalry here. So that would be kind of nice. We can send this one down to assist us. Now, as for these galleons, we still have to decide what to do. My original plan with them, which I, of course, totally forgot about, was to take on this pirate's nest up here to try to give a bit of a reprieve to our dwarven town of Skorold. But now we're kind of out of the way, and I don't really want to go all the way back over there. And I think I'd rather actually send them kind of south, and then maybe I can bring them eventually back over this way to grab a builder so that they can start healing, because as you can see, they've taken some punishment. So let's head down this way. We can clear out these pesky baby Kraken here. And then once we've killed the baby Kraken... Oh, and they're going to be annoying. So we're going to have to entice them to come at us here. You know what? Let's just do that. And then that should draw them out. Or not. Okay. They want to play that way, do they? Well, fine. We'll just keep blasting until they decide to come out. There we go. I figured we could get them to come out to play if we, you know, did a little bit of convincing. Okay, so we've got cannon shot here. I think if we retreat back... Ooh, we're obstructed. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of the noodle in here. That's the technical term for it, by the way. We're going to blast here. There we go, very nice. And then we can do the exact same over here. Not quite in range, huh? All right. We don't want to get attacked by these Krakens, so... I think we're okay if we go right here. Oh yeah, there we go. We're totally fine. There's a nice blast. Fortunately, we didn't quite get the kill. But we should be fine. Oh, and they've actually lined themselves up, which is great. Oh, no, they haven't. Dang it. They're kind of on an angle. I think we'll actually be able to... Let's see. So if we... retreat back. I'm just gonna see. You know what? Let's kill the weak one, and then we'll run away from the other one. Can we go back here? Are we out of range of attack? Yes, we are. Okay. We can get the blast kill right there, and then we should be able to just retreat out of the way. Yeah, no worries. Again, I just want to make sure I don't take any extra damage, because obviously we can't really repair it, so... Do a ram there, and a ram there, and a final kill over here. Perfect. It's always nice to clear these structures out, because I was going to say you get some nice rewards, and we actually did here. Let's see. Antique Asrack Miniature Pyramid. Okay, so this is a jewel item that gives Embrace Fire. Empower the unit with Ancestral Strength of the Asrack heirs, gaining Inflict Fire Plague, +2 defense, and +2 fire. I'm assuming that's probably just +2 fire damage. It also gives high morale. So this is a pretty powerful jewel item. That's quite nice. Wow. And then we've also got Gordham's. This is just a fairly decent melee weapon, and then a little bit of gold. I think just for this jewel item, I'm actually going to take the reward. And then I'm going to figure out which hero I need to send this to, because I know... I think my heroes have some fairly decent jewel items, but I think someone's missing at least one. So Volinara has... Right, okay, we had her with Frost Protection, and she's got 100% Frost immunity, so I don't want to switch that up. Benif's has Health and Health, so that's really good. Okay, Nero is missing, so he has... Okay, this mythical jewel item gives him Inflict Fire Plague. Let's see... So, and then he's missing here. So we could actually give it to him. Maybe not so bad. Zhang has pretty good stuff. And then Gnulsa is missing one too. So either Gnulsa or Zhang, or excuse me, Gnulsa or Nero would benefit from the item. So let's go back and check it out again one more time. So it does give Inflict Fire Plague, which Again, it looks like Nero already has, so this might actually be better off to send to Gnulsa. So let's send that one to Gnulsa. Meanwhile, this we can send to our nearest hero just to sell. And then as for what to do here, you know, I wouldn't mind kind of heading south and just seeing what I can get up to. Ooh, and there's a pirate's nest we can go clear out. Be nice to get a unit over here, too. We could make some contact, make some more vassals. All right, so our turn is over. So let's think about what we want to do. I believe Spiritual Freedom or Iron Grip would probably be called for, and I think, yeah, Kenton could actually use it if I remember right. That's the one. We're going to need it for our boats, so I think maybe what we'll do is we'll do a Spiritual Freedom here. And then we'll throw that on, and then our boats will be ready to go. So I think that's going to about do it for our turn. So we will end it right there. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what our opponents get up to. We'll have to keep an eye on Alarmian here because, of course, Alarmian has this stack of units that's come up. And we have Beneath sitting here ready to, you know, do some combat. And then we also have 2 Shadow Stalkers that we sort of have guarding our vassal. But, you know, if this unit attacked the Shadow Stalkers, I mean, we could probably manage it. But, you know, it'd be a tough battle because obviously there's just quite a lot of units. So... Oh, and look at that. Edward Portsmouth disjuncted treasure rating. Yeah, I think every turn we're going to have to be constantly recasting our spells, so that's going to be quite annoying. You know, again, when you have 6 opponents and all of them can disjunct your active spells, it's kind of inevitable that you're going to get at least one of them dinged every turn that flips over. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to just watch Alarmian here. We're going to see what he does. I'm a little concerned that if this unit, you know, starts moving down this way, we might have some issues. And then we'll also have to keep an eye on, of course, our Nomad Warlord opponent, Reynald, and see if he, you know, brings any reinforcements into his throne. Although we might not kind of be able to get a full glimpse of it. We'll have to see. So we'll keep an eye on Alarmian here. Let's see what he does with that little unit. Okay, looks like he's going to retreat underground. That's fine with me. I kind of want to keep him at bay and then get Beneath's hopefully up into the battle here. Might even be able to go along the ground here and follow this road. We'll have to see where that goes. If that is the case, we could send Beneath's up this way and then maybe attack the Throne City along with Volinara, who we can send kind of in a swoop kind of this way. We'll have a bit of a pincer attack, sort of one coming up from the south and the other one coming across from the east. That'll be kind of a, you know, 1-2 punch, hopefully. The question is going to be exactly how do we want to get Volinara there? Do we want to just kind of make a beeline for it? Do we want to maybe clear out some structures? I think if we clear this one out, we're actually going to get access to Arctic walking, which I believe makes it so that we can move more easily across the Arctic terrain, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Might be better to just start, you know, progressing as quickly as we can over there. You know, we could basically just head straight this way and then grab these haste berries. We could even try and fight our way through this city if it's not super well defended, and then head over and join in with Beneath's and then siege the throne. That would be ideal. But we'll have to see. We'll keep an eye on what's happening. And of course, yeah, Alarmian retreating underground is actually kind of a good thing for us. Although, again, we have to remember that he's there, because if we move all our units off, he might pop out and get real aggressive. And unfortunately, you can see this vassal is only guarded by a single unit, so it's not going to stand up to any attack. And again, that city used to belong to Larissa, my AI teammate, who unfortunately was killed off. Alright, so we're going to keep an eye on Reynald here. Ooh, and look at that. Grelka attempted to disjunct Poison Mastery. That's not good. I mean, it failed, thank goodness, but that's not ideal. Okay, and look at... Oh, yeah, he's coming to get my scout. Thankfully, when he embarked, he used up all of his movement, though, so my scout is safe for another turn, which is really good. Probably not going to see a whole lot of other action around here, but I want to just keep my eyes peeled, see if there's anything that we notice going on. Hopefully Reynald doesn't try to disjunct anything. You know, once the failure has happened, that does mean this spell is going to be more vulnerable to a subsequent attempt. It's going to have less integrity, and it'll be easier to get rid of, so if Reynald tries it, he'll probably succeed. I suppose I could start trying to reinforce my active spells as well to kind of mitigate some of this. Might not be a bad idea. And I'm really hoping that if I'm able to take out, you know, at least one of my opponents and get the Throne City, it'll give me a big boost. Oh, yeah, and there it is. That's exactly what I was expecting. Oh, that's annoying. So Poison Mastery is down. I think we're going to probably want to get Poison Mastery up first, and then we can try and also work on Treasure Rating, but that's going to take 2 turns at least. Unless we get some, you know, big bonus to casting points or something from a structure that we're able to raid. Let's check out. It's the Independence turn. Okay, Hamplet's got a Domain Invasion. Oh, okay, thankfully it looks like they're avoiding the city, so that's great for me. Okay, and our race governance with Shadow Elves has increased, so let's see what we've got. Irregulars get Shadow Realm Concealment and +2 movement, or Shadow Elf cities and units no longer dislike Blighted or Subterranean. I don't really have very many Shadow Elf units. I don't even think I have any at the moment. So, of the 2 options, I'm leaning towards this one because if I produce any Irregulars, they're going to get a little bit of extra movement. Although, is that really going to make a huge difference? Not necessarily. This would affect all my Shadow Elf units, but I don't anticipate making a ton of them. So, I think we'll just do the Irregulars. I don't think that upgrade really is going to matter either way. But of course, as a rogue, I do have access to irregular units, so... Or more irregular units, I should say. Alright, so we're going to switch our active casting here. We're going to get Poison Mastery back up and running. We are going to cast that. Now, to reinforce a spell... Okay, that does cost casting points. Yeah, I was going to say... I couldn't remember offhand if it cost extra casting points to do that or not. Because if it only cost mana, I would just do that all the time. But of course it costs casting points, so... And yeah, let's get Treasure Rating going so that we can get that up next turn. Looks like we've had an alliance proposal here from the Orcs. Oh, this is excellent. 247 gold. Happy to do it. Very, very nice. So this is a really, really nice city here. You can see we've got a lot of powerful structures. We've got a Lost City. We've got a Raven's Keep. We've got a Vault of Knowledge. We've got a Magma Forge. We've got a Lost Library. This is extremely good. Not to mention that if the city were to grow a few times here, we would actually get the Flowrock Quarry as well. And I believe, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. So it would take 3 growth, 3 domain expansions, which I'm assuming they probably don't have an observatory here. They do have a stone wall, but we could do an observatory, a palace, and then the city can grow 1 more. It's currently a city, so if it gets to a metropolis. So that actually would be amazing. That city is very, very strong. That's one eventually I'd probably like to absorb. Okay, decisions now. So I want to get Beneath's heading north here and get up to our opponent. So I think what we'll do is we'll do what Albtrom suggested here, and we'll do a bit of scouting kind of on our way up. So we'll see where this road goes. Let's check that out. Oh, look at that. Okay, and we found ourselves... this is a Tigran outpost or city, it looks like, or village, I guess. So we'll send Beneaths up this way. Where's our... Okay, our endpoint's going to be right here. And so with our Eagle Rider, we might be able to make contact here. Yeah, there we are. Okay, perfect. Got a proposal. They want open borders and a peace treaty. I'm happy to accept. And then let me know when you want to chat. And they might become my vassal very shortly, which would be excellent. All right, so it looks like we can get Beneaths pretty much along the land, or maybe just hopping across a short little river, and we can get there, which would be excellent. So then we're going to have to do something with our scout to keep our scout alive, but we'll do that after. So now with our necromancer here, let's use this unit as a bit of a scout. Ooh, and unfortunately we're going to have to embark again. Dang it, that's annoying. So I ended up kind of... Oh, and that's a unit belonging to the sorcerer, the Nomad sorcerer. Yikes, okay. Well, that's kind of frustrating because now I'm going to have to embark again just to get over here. Oh, and look at that. These haste berries got used, so a unit must have walked through them, it looks like. Because before, I think those weren't... those were... They had the red on them, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I think... I was going to maybe do some battling on this little island, but I think we're just going to get back in the water. And then we're going to go over here. And we're going to try and kind of proceed that way. So, we're gonna try and go in for the kill as quickly as we can. Anything else kind of fancy going on? Quest available here. Let's see. I don't think we have anything in the vicinity, so we probably won't do it. Ooh, we'd get some... Oh, we'd get some undead Archon units. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think we're going to unfortunately be declining that quest. Because we're not in the area. So we're not really going to be able to do it. You know what? Now that we're in the Shadow Realm, let's check out Nero's situation here. Okay, so... Now we can finally get rid of this magic rift, and these units have been pestering us for a long time. So let's do that. Let's get over here, clear this bad boy out. So we will use... Let's use our Shock Serpent here to do it. Okay, it's saying very likely victory. I mean, we are in kind of rough shape, though, so we will have to be a little bit careful, actually. You know what? We could even bring our little... Cadaver in for the party as well. I mean, we probably don't need him, but you know what? Let's do that, just to be safe. And that'll save us a little bit of movement as well. Alright, I mean, it's probably not going to make a difference having him there, but you never know. It certainly doesn't hurt. Oh, and we got weakened. That's not good. Alright, let's see... if we can figure out kind of what would be the best course of action here. So, yeah, our Pony Rider's in pretty rough shape, so obviously... Now, again, we can revive 2 of our units. We can revive any unit here with this one, or a tier 1 or 2 unit with this. So, if our cavalry goes down, we can use the lesser reanimate. If either our Deathbringer or our Shock Serpent were to go down, then we could use the greater reanimate. And same, if the Banshee goes down, we could also use the lesser reanimate. You know what I think I'm going to probably do? We really need to get rid of the Blight Elemental that has thrown this on the Shock Serpent, which is annoying. That said, I mean, the weakness isn't too bad because we're undead, so we actually still have 40% protection, which is kind of nice. So maybe what I'll do instead is I'll just heal the Shock Serpent, and then we can charge in there and start putting work in. Probably what this is going to boil down to here. There we go. Okay. And then we'll step up with our Cadaver, attack the Wisp. And we'll step this Cadaver up as well. You know what? We'll get our Pony Rider in there and do that. And then now our Shock Serpent can get right up in there and get real aggressive. And I think we'll actually do that. There we go. Our Deathbringer, we're going to play it a little bit more conservative because we want to make sure that we keep a unit kind of in reserve, especially since we're not going to be able to revive both the Shock Serpent and the Deathbringer if they go down. So, yeah, in this situation, I think we'll keep our Deathbringer kind of back. Same with our Banshee. I mean, again, we can only pick one of the 2 if one of our tier 2s go down. So we'll keep our Banshee back here with our leader. Or our hero, I should say. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's a Bestow Iron Heart. Okay, our Cadaver went down. Alright, no worries there. We can handle everything that just happened. We're totally fine. This Cadaver can go in and just, you know, again, soak up some hits. You know what? Oh, look at this. This is great. We can get in there and put some major hurt on the... Actually, we can outright kill the Frost Elemental. Let's do that. Amazing. That's great. Now the Banshee, I don't know if this Whale of Despair is going to do anything here. Let's see, does that affect... No, I didn't think it would. Yeah, okay, nothing there. And it's yeah, it's a spirit check, so of course the spirit elemental is not going to be affected either way because it's immune to spirit, so... let's see, what kind of damage do we do here? Actually pretty good. I don't really, again, I don't want to get the Banshee in any more risk than is absolutely necessary. So let's step up like this with Nero. We do have a throw chicken, I always forget about that. So let's, you know what, we'll back up just a touch, and then we'll throw it at the Blight Elemental just to help out. And then our Shock Serpent can put some work in. Very nice. Our Deathbringer, I think we could, I mean, we could Shadow Step in and kill off the Blight Elemental. I think we'd be fine, so we'll do that. There we go. Banshee can hang back. Ouch. Okay, and there goes our Ghoul Shock Serpent, which thankfully we can revive. And then we can get a nice big flank attack here with our cavalry. Excellent. We unfortunately cannot devour that corpse because it is an elemental unit, so it doesn't have like a standard corpse. And then yeah, I think we'll get the kill with the Deathbringer. Probably. Throw on the War Cry just for the kind of overkill. There we go. But yeah, thankfully we were able to revive our Shock Serpent. Oh, and we got some extra casting points. That's not so bad. It's a shame we didn't get 4 more, and then we would have been able to actually throw treasure rating back on, but that's okay. Ooh, and we're not quite able to get to that tomb. That's all right. We'll head up to the tomb, and I want to do that because we might have an opportunity there to, again, make an additional undead friend, which would be excellent. This cadaver, we're going to send over this way to try and do a little more scouting, I think, before he withers away to nothing. So that's going to more or less do it for the Shadow Realm, I think. Now, ooh, yeah, let's take on some pirates here, although it's basically just undead, but getting rid of these spawners always feels super good. So let's do it. All right. Are we in good shape? Yeah, we're at full health, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, we've got a line of sight penalty, so if we... I think if we go right here, we'll actually be fine. Yeah, there we go. So we'll blast the Wraith. Ooh, nice, and we got a nice critical there. Do the same thing here. And we should be able to do one more and get the kill. Ooh, unfortunately, though, we've got that obstruction. What if we head over here like this? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so now it's just Lost Souls. We'll actually retreat back and let them come to us. Then we'll have our cannons back as well. So, I think we can just kill them with the fire arrows. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. We'll use our silver metal ship to try to level it up. Excellent. That takes care of that spawning structure, which is good. Frost Protection Ring and a Thief's Cowl. Now, I believe that Nero doesn't have an item, but he's undead. Now, I don't think being undead gives him complete frost immunity. But the Thief's Cowl is kind of not that important, really. Night Vision is okay if you're underground, but we were goblins, so like Gnulsa being underground, she can see just fine. I'm a little bit... you know, I think I'm just going to sell it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to sell that. And then, yeah, we'll just keep heading that way, I think. So we'll group up. Yeah, lots of stuff to explore and clear out over here, so... plenty more income we can generate via our boats there. Now over here, we'll do the exact same thing. We'll head down and got some pirates to take care of here. So got a circle thrower and then some Trident Warriors. Now this is going to be tough, as you can see, because unfortunately they get Lizard Man Bond, which gives them way more health. So this is actually a battle I'm a little bit more hesitant about doing. I think we'll be all right, but, you know, we have to be kind of careful here. Hopefully they line up, but I don't know if they will. Okay, they're not going to. They're going to just sit back. It would be nice to kill the circle thrower first, I think. Let's try and do that. There's some big damage. Very nice. Ooh, and they're immolated. That's great. And we can get the kill. Okay, excellent. And the rest are melee units, if I'm not mistaken, so... Ooh. Kind of scary how quick they move there. That's just the accelerated battle pace, but a little scary. Alright, are we out of range? Yeah, we are. Okay. So we'll do this and this. And then are we out of range if we're right there? I think so. Are we out of range here? Yeah, okay, we're in good shape. So we'll let it flip over, and then we should... Oh, and did they line up here? They did. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so we'll go like this. Blast. We'll go like this. Another blast, and then we'll go like this for yet another blast. Fantastic. Now we can just get the finish with a combination of ramming or fire arrows. I think we'll do ram here. Does a little bit more damage. There we go, and then we should be able to get the kill here. Yep. Okay, perfect. No damage was taken, and we cleared out yet another spawning structure. Although we don't really have any items or any cities over here, but pretty decent melee weapon. But I think I'm just going to sell this for the gold here. It would be nice to get a unit over here, though, to make contact, so we could maybe get ourselves possibly another vassal. Let's go this way. Okay, we kind of want to make our way back, do a bit of a loop around here, and then make our way back over to our territory near our throne, and maybe we make a builder. So we're currently working on a settler, but we can make a builder here as well, and add that in with our galleons here. That way they can repair themselves. We've got some production choices we can kind of do. Ooh, look at that. We've got some undead that are going to be a bit of an issue for us. Speb Jun is actually growing quite well, as we would expect from goblins, of course. Ooh, look at that. We can make bards in a single turn. That's great. So yeah, we have a lot more options now for some fairly decent units that we're going to be able to employ. So, let's see. You know what? We'll do a bard. Bring this little guy back to the city. And what I want to do is fight these undead and clear out this necromantic circle eventually. Problem is that goblins are not the greatest against undead with their kind of reliance on blight damage, so... But we'll sort that out. Let's go back to the surface up here. We got to move some of our other units. So now that we've had Alarmian retreat back underground, again, I have to be careful, but I think I'm going to be able to send a Shadow Stalker up to join in with Beneaths. And I think I'm going to send it in the water. That way, if Alarmian pops back up, I'll be a little bit safer, hopefully. Meanwhile, this one, I'm going to send to join in with Volanara up here, I think. We can actually grab the haste berries here to get us up there a little bit more quickly. I do need to be a little bit careful. I don't want the unit to get caught kind of by itself, but I think we'll be all right. So we'll park it right there. Hopefully I'm not being overconfident, but... all right, so that takes care of that. We've got a few other units over here. This Shadow Stalker, I truthfully don't remember exactly where I was sending it. That was from here, I guess, from Edinburgh. So this one was probably heading up to grab, to grab this. and then was... Oh, and we can almost grab another one. And then we can join in with Volinara. So that's what we'll do. We'll head over here. There we go. So yeah, we're going to have some pretty nasty troops there ready to inflict some serious punishment on our opponent. This one can go this way as well. You know, I bet we could handle this battle without too much trouble with just our Shadow Stalker. Because again, these units all kind of heavily rely on blight damage. And obviously we have blight immunity. What kind of odds does this give me in battle? Let me see. Saying probable victory. Again, this is probably being stupid, but I'm going to try it. I might be a little overconfident with my Shadow Stalkers at this stage. Alright. Let's just step in and attack here. Maybe I should have used defense, but we'll see. Oof. Wow, okay, yeah, no, never mind. The Shadow Stalker is devastating. A little bit of damage there, but nothing we couldn't handle. And then just absolutely obliterated. Wow. Okay, so yeah, that just gives us a little bit of extra vision range, which is kind of what I was hoping for there. So yeah, and then this unit we can send over, again, just to kind of try and get involved here as much as possible. All right, very, very nice. Let's see, we've had any other developments? Yeah, over here, so I guess the roaming units decided to not attack, so they're just kind of over there now. So you know what? We could start using this stack to clear out some of these structures if we really wanted. But it would also be nice to kill these units off so that they stop pestering me. That said, I think I'm going to hold off just for now because I want a little bit stronger. Once I have a Shadow Stalker, then I'll feel much more confident about that. So in the meantime here, we'll just move up. We can kill off these wisps at least. Okay, so they're going to push up here. I'm going to retreat back the rest of my units here. I fully anticipate them to phase in and attack my initiates or my bowmen. Yep, there it is. Okay, there we go. I was hoping that my guardians would actually get attacked because they have regrowth, so nice. A little bit of experience for them. And now we should be able to just deal with these wisps here. Excellent. Okay, perfect. So that clears that out, and then we can go clear this one out as well. And then, yeah, we'll start working on developing this city a little bit more with our new stack here that can kind of jump around a little bit. Once they have the Shadow Stalker, they're going to be very powerful, and then we can clear out these things much easier and get rid of this pesky unit as well. Okay, no other alliance offers, mostly just join offers here, it looks like. Yep. So now we could check out a few more of our production results here. So we have another succubus. Just send this succubus kind of straight north. Again, we just want to get involved in the combat on the front lines if we can. Stick to the water here just for a little added protection for our units that are kind of by themselves. That's pretty good, actually. I'm quite happy with how that's turning out. We've got actually a large number of Shadow Stalkers already, which is great. And the cool thing, too, is we are only 3 turns away from having Dark Pact, which is going to provide a big upgrade to our Shadow Stalkers. So very, very happy about that. Vassal over here. Oh, I almost forgot about these little guys. So this is a vassal city that belongs to Reynald. So let's take that from him because we can. Unless he decides to cast some kind of, deadly spell, which, I mean, as a warlord, his spells aren't going to be quite as all-encompassing. He's got more kind of unit upgrades rather than powerful spells. Not to say that he doesn't have, you know, spells that can be effective, but... yeah, you know what? Let's just do a little bit of beef action on the Spider Queen there. I'm going to save the Forge Priest's ability just in case the unit takes a ton of health damage and we kind of need the extra. Okay, there we go. I want to kind of draw them out from their hiding place back there. Okay, there we go. Now they're out in the open. Start letting them have it with all my ranged units here, so that's really good. Oh yeah, fantastic. Big damage there. Nice kill right there. Let the swordsman have it, and then a little bit more. Excellent. And then what I'd actually really like to do is try for a web here. Oh, and we got it. That's perfect. Wow. This battle's just working out super well for me here. So we'll throw this on. Again, nobody needs the health, so we'll just do it for the experience. There we go. And then you know what? We'll try for a dispel here. We'll try for a steal. Actually, we'll use weaken. Trying to get as much experience out of this as I can. There we go. Stun. Nice experience there. Level up. And there's the kill. Excellent. Well, and there we go. We got ourselves a new city. So this is the High Elf Outpost of Leandris, which I'm going to absorb. And I can start using these units to just clear out things that are kind of in the immediate area. So we can start with this mana node, I guess, and then this farm, since we're here anyway. So let's engage this. You know what? Let them run, sure. And then we'll do the same for this farm. And we'll keep this stack in the area so we can defend the city if it does come under any attack. Okay, so let's send our Brew Brother over, and we'll do the exact same sort of combo of upgrades here. Iron Heart, and then we'll save our other one just in case. Let's see, what are we up against? We've got an Untouchable, Civic Guard, and a Farmer. So unfortunately, a lot more ranged combat this time. Or ranged attacks, I should say, that we're going to be facing. So we'll move our Priest up. Let's kind of move everybody up a little bit. Gotta watch out for the Blight Doctor, because obviously the Blight Doctor is a little bit more squishy. So our Spider could phase in behind. Might not be worth the risk, though, because that's gonna be potentially dangerous. Move our Forge Priest up and do a little bit. Blight Doctor can kind of hang out as well. Get our regular Priest up there. And then our Spider, maybe we kind of step up and guard our Priest a little bit. Okay, nice. Oh, nice. Double lucky. Alright, no real worries there, so we can just obliterate the Untouchables here, which would be good. Let's do that. Very nice. Forge Priest did its job. Then we can charge over with our Blight Doctor. Throw on a Weaken because we can. And do some hefty damage here. Very nice. And then, yeah, what I'm going to try is to web the Farmer. Nice. Excellent. And that's going to give me a chance to kind of do the same thing where I can heal my Forge Priest a little bit. I can try and steal that for some experience. And try to dispel that for some experience. There we go. I think that gives me experience. I'm almost certain. Try for a Stunning Touch. Got that too. Yeah, and I think... Oh, you know what? We can try and dispel the buffs there. Nice, and we got the level up with the Brew Brother. That's great. Oh, a tiger and some gold. I'll take the tiger. If nothing else, I can use it as a city guard just to park right on the city. And I can also use it to do some exploration as well. So, okay. Well, we've got a few things up there at least. We've got a crystal tree that needs to be cleared out. So we'll probably head back over there. Okay. Now, our scout. What do we want to do to keep our scout alive? That's the question. Well, first things first, let's kind of do a bit more scouting. Okay, so right now, the city just has a single Nomad Phalanx there guarding it. So, I think what we'll do is we'll actually head over here. Ooh, unfortunately, there is a boat there already. So, probably going to lose the scout, but the scout has done its job. And you know what? We can see now that we are going to have to get in the water to get there, which is kind of unfortunate. So we might just head right in here or head north. We'll have to figure out what the best kind of plan of attack is there for Beneaths. But that's fine, as Volinara is going to be still a few turns away. Actually, Volinara could just stay in the water and just kind of cruise along here and then land somewhere like right here or something like that. That wouldn't be so bad. Oh, and then Beneaths can join. And that'll kind of allow us to really group up and do hopefully a coordinated attack. As for production, Ding is now able to make galleons, and these galleons are going to have extra health. So that's probably what we're going to do here, is just do galleons. And you know what, we could do a Master's Guild to improve our production. And that would allow us to crank these out in a single turn, which would be very nice. Although the city's about to grow, and chances are when the city grows, it's probably going to gain enough production to do these in a single turn. So I think I'll actually maybe just do that. Although this would also provide machine units get an additional rank. So you know what? All right, we'll do the Master's Guild. And then we'll start doing boats out of there. Hamplet, we can continue to just make Succubi. Lilac. Let's see. Lilac, we're just doing Shadow Stalkers galore. So we'll just keep that going. There's yet another one. Just trying to think. So, you know, it might be nice to start having a few units around to kind of clear out some of the miscellaneous structures that maybe we didn't have a chance to clear out before. Like, for example, this Castle of the Lich King or, you know, some of those other structures. So maybe I should consider, you know, kind of building a bit of a force to do some of that. I'll have to kind of think about it. And we've got these two Shadow Stalkers who I was pondering even sending underground. I think there was a spawn... Yeah, there's a spawning structure over here I wanted to get rid of. So, you know what? Let's see if we can maybe make that happen. Plus, there's a city we can make contact with as well. Alright, so we'll sit right here, and then we'll clear that out next turn. You have to be careful with those Shadow Stalkers because obviously, you know, just two of them alone are, you know, they're not impervious to damage. All right, let's clear this out and get our city back. This is that Shadow Elf city that we lost to these darn Shadow Demons. I'll have to be a little bit careful this battle because obviously these Shadow Demons can put the hurt on me if I'm not careful. The Shadow Demon Bombard in particular has a, there you go, the Bombard attack, which is kind of one of those AoE ones like this. Yeah, there it is. So you have to be sort of careful. Lots of potential for splash damage there. So you know what, let's just charge in there and do some work. Probably should have done this first, made him flank, and then I would have actually gotten the kill had I done that properly. Oh well. I think we'll be fine. Hopefully. Yeah, took a little extra damage, but ended up being okay. We'll just get the kill here between our different wyverns here. Excellent. Okay, so we reclaimed the city, which is great. Now we have to figure out where those units came from. And they came from, I believe, this direction, so probably over here in the unexplored region. So you know what? Maybe we make Shadow Elf unit just to guard the city. Let's do a Night Guard here, because we can do them in one turn. And then this unit now, I got to figure out what do I do with them. So, again, part of me wants to send them up this way to figure out what's going on. That would probably be wise. It would also probably be a good idea to have something here guarding our dwelling that we're going to be... Well, we've already started investing quite a bit in, so we'll head back up the road here. This little guy's going to wither away to nothing here very shortly, so... Alright, let's jump around and do some production while we're able to. All right, Edinburgh, we're probably just going to keep doing Shadow Stalkers because we can, really. Kenton, we are now able in Kenton to do galleons if we really wanted. We can do them in a single turn. The only thing we have to watch out for is, of course, we don't have the buff on the city right now, so we might want to hold off for a turn or two until we're able to do that. Maybe we just develop the city a little more. You know what? That's a good excuse. We'll try and get our spiritual freedom on the city, but in the meantime, we'll do a little bit more development. We could even do a Master's Guild if we wanted, although we are currently able to do the Galleon in a single turn, so not necessarily a huge must-do. That said, the Observatory wouldn't be bad. Increase the domain of the city. Might be able to bring some of these in here shortly if we do the... We already do have the stone wall, I guess. It's a town, so once it's a city, so it'll go, let's see, city, metropolis, observatory. So yeah, we at least get the farm. Although by that point, the added growth doesn't really matter. Oh well. The extra knowledge is not so bad. So we'll do that in the meantime. Although, you know, again, this is another situation where, now that I think about it, the Master's Guild would be great because we're going to be making machine units. And we could also make a builder that would have repair. So, yeah, let's do that. In retrospect, let's do that. That's going to be more useful for my boats. All right, Skorold here. You can see we've got some pesky roaming units yet again. It's going to take a few turns, but let's do a Shadow Stalker. Once we have that, then we can start clearing everything out. Shadow Stalkers make a huge difference. Okay, now this is, I think... This is gonna be tricky because we've got undead who are obviously a little bit susceptible to fire damage. So we're gonna decide who we want to bring along for the battle. Maybe before we do that, we should actually go see what we're up against here. Okay, so we've got a Watcher, Sphinx, a Mystic, and then 3 Sun Guard. Ay, ay, ay. That's a little bit nasty. The Nightshade Fairy might be useful. Let's see. We've got insane fire protection, spirit protection, shock protection, frost protection. So the fire and spirit's going to matter in this battle. So you know what? I actually think the Nightshade Fairy is going to be a good choice here. I want to bring along the caster because obviously having the heal undead is going to be good. Obviously I need the Wraith King. That's powerful. I can bring one more in if I really want. And then it's just which of these two, and I'll probably bring the cavalry because why not? The cadaver, I can make one during the battle if need be. So yeah, I think we'll do this. And this. Ooh, this is kind of exciting. I wonder how this is going to go. I'm a little nervous, actually. I mean, again, I should be fine. I just don't want to lose anybody, especially my Wraith Kings, who I can't revive just yet with Zhang, because Zhang is not yet level 7. All right, let's see. So they're not going to do anything to us. What kind of spells do it? You know what? This is a great opportunity to use Stiffen Limbs here. So let's do that. And I think we'll throw it on the Sphinx, maybe? The -2 defense on the Sphinx would be useful. Watcher wouldn't be so bad either. Now, it does say limbs suffer -12 walking. I don't know how that affects units that can fly. You know what? This is a good learning experience here. Let's find out. So the Sphinx has... Oh, I guess it does have walking as well. It has lesser flying. Ah, okay. So it's going to be affected. That's good. So yeah, we will do that then. Stiffen limb. There we go. And then let's just see if they decide to do anything now that we've done that. No. Okay. Zhang is now on fire, which is probably not very pleasant for him. We'll throw that on the Watcher as well. That's going to weaken them, make this battle hopefully a touch easier. And now we can also... I probably should have been doing this too. I could have thrown a curse. Throw that at the Sphinx. We'll have to watch out our cavalry. I maybe shouldn't have brought the cavalry now that I think about it. We've got all these Sun Guard. Maybe I should have brought the Cadaver instead. That's a bit of an oopsie now that I think about it. But, oh well. Now, I need to do some damage fairly soon here because... Okay, I think that broke the effect there. Alright. So now we can start dishing out some damage, but we have to be very careful because these units are gonna be able to inflict a lot of punishment on us. What is the Meditate upgrade here? Okay, so +3 defense. Wow, so very tanky. That's actually going to help us out quite a bit. I think we're going to need it here. So what I think we're probably going to do is just throw this unit out kind of in the front here and have it just tank damage since it has that. So yeah, we'll just kind of do this. We're just going to hope that the Wraith King kind of just gets bombarded with attacks here. Here's that. And then I have to watch out because the Nightshade Fairy, obviously, if it ends up in melee, isn't going to be very happy. You might want to actually kind of retreat back. Zhang, we can do a little bit of work here. Kind of assist. It's actually pretty nice. There we go. And you know what? I'll put the cavalry... Put them in front of Zhang, just so that Zhang isn't in any danger. Do need to probably retreat my casters back, however. Don't really want them getting attacked too much. Ooh, can we maybe get the kill? Let's see. We do a minimum of two. We'd have to get good rolls both times. No such luck. Again, let's see. With the cavalry, yeah, the cavalry can't get in there. Okay. Probably could have made slightly different decisions so that... Oh, that Sun Disc. I forgot about that. Ouch. Shouldn't have lined my units up like that, but... Oh, not the caster. Although, again, if the caster does go down, I will be able to revive them. Okay, there we go. We killed off the Sun Guard, at least. And now the Sphinx can... Ooh, we can lay into the Sphinx with some fairly hefty damage here. Let's do that. Oh, that's excellent. Very nice damage there. The cavalry should be able to just get the finish, no problem here. So we will do that. Very nice. Our caster is going to retreat back. I think just throw up a self-heal because kind of in rough shape. Meanwhile, our Wraith King is just an absolute monster in there, tanking damage. So we'll try to provide a little bit of support here if we can. Fairly hefty damage there. All right. Hopefully they're not going to get killed. I would really be upset if I lose them. Okay, cavalry, that's fine. Oh, yeah, they're fine. What am I saying? I'm all worried, and they're just, totally chill in there. Not a care in the world. All right, so... you know what? We can probably turn... Let's see, can we turn them? Oh, yeah, flanking damage. Ooh, not quite. Not enough to turn them. I thought we could all the way, but that's all right. This Wraith King here, we can kill the Watcher. And then our cavalry... Oh, yeah, our cavalry can charge in there. Between the two of them, they can get the kill. Yeah, that'll be just fine. So we'll do this. Ooh, big damage there. That's excellent. Actually, now this is great because now I have an opportunity to drop a heal on somebody who needs it. Or create another cadaver. But I think in this case, I'll do a heal on the cavalry. And then I'll move these Wraith King over like this and do a nice flank shot. Get the kill. Excellent. Yeah, that battle went quite well. And there we go. We have a gold medal now. And I believe the gold medal provides throw curse, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, this is a very, very powerful unit now at this stage. Pendant of the Lightworker. Vision range upgrade, true sight, and +1 resistance. And a big chunk of extra knowledge. Or a huge chunk of gold. I think, you know what? I could give this to Nero, who doesn't have... He's missing a jewel item, so... Might as well give that to him. And again, that took one turn off of our research, so I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, that worked out very well. And there we go. Now we're at level 6, which is excellent. So now we're going to save our point for when we hit level 7, we're going to grab... when we hit level 7, we're going to grab Greater Reanimate Undead. And then we can raid this tomb here. That would be amazing for us. So we're going to move this unit out of the stack, just temporarily. We'll probably add them back in eventually. So then we'll regroup. And now we want to see if there's something else we can kind of do to gain some extra experience, do a bit more fighting. We jump back up to the surface. I don't think there's anything up here to really do. Unless we want to come up here and start clearing those structures. Could also go raid this Haunted Boneyard and try to recruit that Wraith King eventually. But let's go back underground. So with this stack, I'm tempted to go this way. I just want to keep fighting until Zhang is level 7. Then we'll come back and do the tomb as my game plan there. So let's use the Wraith King a little bit here. Just trying to... Okay, there is a crystal tree down there, which we should be able to go do. So yeah, let's do that, and then we can turn around if need be. Come back up and do the tomb. So presumably there's going to be some other structures here as well. All right. Yeah, that went pretty well, actually. So now we have Gnulsa to do some work with. We can get rid of the spawning structure, and then maybe keep on trucking that direction. Thinking that's probably a good plan. But you know what? I think we'll leave Gnulsa's turn for next time. So this will be where I'll end the episode. Let's just go back to the surface here. Pan out. So yeah, now we have a really good look at our opponent's throne city. And we're bringing 2 of our stacks to bear. We've got Volinara coming in from the east. And then we've got Beniefs coming in from the south. So not to mention a bunch of Shadow Stalkers moving in to assist both stacks. So that should be a lot of fun. We're going to save this one as episode 18. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.